Listen, in Bakersfield, where we're from, about an hour and a half away. And we were lucky enough to be influenced by the one and only Tony Gonzalez, Tony G, original mix master, Julio G. People in Waka, I mean, we had them guys come to our radio station. We were on a little AM radio station in Bakersfield, 13K, 50, and we wanted to do what K-Day did. But man, these guys are, they're ridiculous.
Can we introduce these guys right now?
Can.
We have two very special guests right here. Give it up for the one and only Julio G!
Julio G!
DJ Battlecat! Come on. Oh, geez.
And the one and only Battlecat!
DJ Battlecat. What's up, Cat? Look at him. Look at him, he's still going. He got me, it's okay. He got you. Welcome, and thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
We want to go back to the very beginning. Number one, how did you get on K-Day as Mixmasters?
Myself, Tony G found me, kind of discovered me, but I popped up at 1580 K-Day one day to do, they used to do a show called the High Energy Show, and a guy named Louis Romo, he was in charge of doing that. He was a friend of mine. His brother went to high school with me. So when I was a kid, I used to break dance. The first breakdance contest I won was one of his parties. That's how I met him when I was about 14, 15. And so he took me up to K-Day, and that's when I met Tony and Greg. And I actually battled Tony the first time I met him. And I lost. You know, I lost. But he was, yeah, I got on. I looked up to him. That's why I named myself Julio G, was because of Tony G. I used to listen to him on the radio when I was in high school. But that's how I got on. First time he met me and he let me come back the next week. And then I seen him at a party. He's like, I'm gonna make you a mix master. And I didn't believe it. I was like, okay. And so I was like, man, okay. So he talked to Greg Mack, and because of Greg Mack, he put me on, and I became one of the original 1580 K-Day mix masters.
That's what's up. Give it up for Julio G, guys. Battlecat, tell us your story. How did you get on K-Day? Who brought you in the fold?
Man. So my humble beginnings of that is I heard broadcast that they was having one more opportunity to become a K-Day mix master, because I thought it wasn't going to happen. And they already had their DJs, but then they came and extended another competition. One more at the Ebony Showcase up for Crenshaw and Washington back in the day. So I'll go back to the house to get my recs, get my needles. Came back up there, sing Tony, sing Julio, and all my homeboys, and I just know that at that time I really needed to belong to something, because at that time gangbanging was at an all-time high in the 80s. And so I was glad to be a part of something so I can really further my identity and my dreams and goals. And I appreciate Greg Mack for doing so, him and Tony. They had a nice conversation. Next thing I know, about a month later, they announced who all the K-Day mix masters, and here you have it, DJ Battlecat.
Give it up for Battlecat.
So back in that day, when you guys were doing the Mix Masters, the DJing at World on Wheels and all the events you guys were doing.
That part.
You know what I mean? Uncle Jam's Army, all that stuff. Man.
The concept.
How was it? You guys were like rock stars, DJ rock stars, right or not?
I mean, listen, it was crazy because we had them to look up to. We talking about the California Crack Crew. We had Lonzo, the Wrecking Crew, Ice-T getting it in, the Radiotron.
Dream Team.
Oh man, Dream Team. There was so much going on. So, you know, they laid out the pavement and the whole demonstration on how we needed to follow suit. And so what I was loving about Greg Mack was like, you know what? I need my own crew like that. And so it was so dope to know that he was inspired by others, because it was competition, really competition, but it just gave us a voice beyond our imagination.
Let me ask you a question in regards to technology, because back then it was wax, turntables, a mixer, and now
headphones, a receiver, if not a radio. We had the Sonic, Pioneer, little reverb, plug up to the auxiliary in the back, whatever we had to do to make it go.
And I've heard stories back in the day, there was some of the records didn't have clean versions.
Oh.
So you guys had to do live on the fly edits right there. Right? Tell me about that.
Hey, well, you know what? It's crazy that you said that, because I know he really can elaborate on it. When I first had to make my mix show, I had to find records that didn't have explicit lyrics, and it was cool because it was a way to showcase how tasteful that a DJ could select records and still get his point across.
Well, let's talk about the selection of records, because you guys are playing records that nobody ever heard. You're talking about stuff from Europe, and stuff like that, electronic records on the radio.
What we did is that back then you didn't see the videos, you didn't really know who the artists were, so at K-Day, 1580 K-Day, there was a hallway and there'd be a lot of records there, so we would just go through them, and if it looked like it's something, I used to just kind of take home everything and then just throw it out, but that's how you would find records, because like the first time I played Boogie Down Productions South Bronx for the first time, nobody really knew. I didn't know what Chris looked like. I didn't know nothing about none of that. We just played off the sound. We played off the sound, and we all just had great ears for DJing, and not only that, we innovated DJing where you see it today with the way people cut records, the way people scratch when they put a drop, and all that. That all came from us. We all created that style of DJing.
Come on, give it up, give it up.
What you hear today, basically,
Exactly. Well, you guys inspired us when we were kids. Like Eric V said, when we were young from Bakersfield, we heard a cassette tape and we heard people scratching and stuff.
We used to hire Tony and Julio to come in battle somebody. What is your record, your go-to record for battling a DJ?
Mine has always been It's Time.
It's time. Battlecat.
I ain't gonna lie, Bang Zoom from
Roxanne. Yeah, man,
because that was the record I actually used when I went to New York for the first time to represent the West Coast at the DMC seminar where Red Alert and Jazzy J and just to name a few. Latin was out there too, but he was with the group Low Profile. So I had LA support, and being courageous. So it would be that record, Howard T. Bang Zoom.
Yep.
Yeah, Howard T.
Thank you guys for being here.
Can I give a shout out to my daughter? I brought my daughter out here. Shout out to my daughter.
Wow.
She's very nice to have her out here.
Hey.
Very cool. Thank you guys too.
Now, what's her name?
Poet is too.